Wrapping up some thoughts on a predictable men's French Open and a wild women's tournament. 1. Rafael Nadal. Even in his mid-30s, which he's now entering, Rafael Nadal is still simply unstoppable. He's the king of clay with good reason. For most players, 12 titles is a great career, but he has 12 just at the French Open. That's absurd when you think about it. And there's no signs of him slowing down or anyone rising up to dethrone him. Unless he gets into it, he'll keep piling up the wins. 2. Federer's 20 problem. Now just 2 titles away, Team Nadal is licking the chops since Roger Federer's all-time record of 20 Grand Slam is well within striking distance, like September striking distance. Rafa's never been this close. Roger might get another at Wimbledon if the draw opens up, but Rafa I think gets at least one more French and, if healthy, 2 elsewhere. And as I've said, Rafa has a better chance of a second career slam by winning the Australian than Federer does of getting another by winning the French. 3. Not Thiem's time. It's a shame for Dominic Thiem and the many before him who have been denied a French because of Rafa. Fortunately, at 25, he should have plenty of chances when Rafa finally retires, whenever that may be, but raise a glass to the Austrian, he deserves it. He played well against Rafa, but I just feel like the legs gave out toward the end. 4. Barty party. The Barty party down under is probably still raging, as it should. The 23-year-old Ash Barty held her nerve after blowing a big lead against Amanda Anisimova, then easily dominated the other teen, Marketa Vondrousova, in the final. She's not your prototypical power player, which makes her that much more fun to watch. I hope this isn't one-off because she is very rootable. 5. Women's semi-finals. The French Open organizers did the women wrong, playing both semi-finals off of center court Chatria. I understand the logistical issues and ticketing, but I don't care who's in those matches and what the men's schedule looks like. They deserve a bigger and better stage than Court Simon Mathieu at 11 a.m. 6. Best on WTA. Has there ever been more upheaval and uncertainty on the WTA? The top players are losing early or injured. Number 1 seems up for grabs every week, and we've seen a rush of new Grand Slam champions. It's the post-Serena world. 7. Next-gen WTA. While the young men get the pub, the young women are getting the results. We saw Naomi Osaka win the US Open and the Australian. Now 23-year-old Ash Barty takes the French, beating 2 teens, 17-year-old Anisimova in the semis and 19-year-old Vondrousova in the final. And there are a bunch of other promising stars coming up as well, like Bianca Andreescu, Coco Gauff, Iga Swiatek, Whitney Osuigwe, Diana Yastremska and Marta Kostyuk. Sofia Kenin announced her arrival, stunning Serena Williams, and Anastasia Potapova was able to close the deal on an undercooked Angelique Kerber. Anisimova is going to lead the way for obvious reasons, and she's actually good, but multiple slams titles will come from this bunch, and they really don't have any big three to block their ascent like the men. So with Serena, Venus and Maria on closing up shop, the WTA is about to get a whole lot younger. I guess looking at the last 3 slam winners, it already has. 8. Federer's return to red while the wind, weather and of course Rafa ended Roger Federer's French Open. I think it was still a successful return to the red stuff. Federer did have a good draw in Paris, but he had no issues taking care of business. And it may lead him to give it another go next year. If not, what a way to go out against your rival Rafa in the semi-finals. 9. Tsitsipas Wawrinka. Easily the best match of the year, living up to the hype with a sizzling array of shot-making and suspense. It's great to see Stan Wawrinka back to near 100%, and Stefanos Tsitsipas continues to prove he may be the best of the new guys. 10. Get the roof. I know it's coming, but a roof over Chatria can't come soon enough. Let's hope the FFD can get this done next year as scheduled. 11. Serve clock. What's the point of a serve clock in tennis if they're not going to enforce it? Imagine if in the NBA the officials didn't call the 2 5-second shot clock. The Warriors went over by a few seconds, so what? Nadal repeatedly went over 25 seconds during the final. The clock expired but no call was made, and many others players did as well. I'm not singling out Rafa. I also don't think the institution of the clock is speeding up the game. Has the tour released any numbers to show it has? If it was, they would tell us. And the clock starts after the chair umpire calls the score, which means the chair umpire decides when to start. It looks great, but it's not working as intended. 12. Deciding set tie breaks. The French is the lone holdout on the final set breakers, and they dodged a bullet Saturday after Team Djokovic ended 7-5 in the fifth instead of 14-12, which would have really bumped the women's final. With a roof on the way in 2020, it should alleviate those scheduling concerns, but it's time for the French to join the trend. Vamos, you might like. Rafael Nadal. In 2005, I thought in 2017 I'd be fishing on my boat in Mallorca. Rafael Nadal. Adding 3 more grams on top of my racket helps my serve, lets me hit longer milos. Roundage. There are things I could have done better in the Wimbledon final against Murray. Nadal. Djokovic advance at Queens. Murray v. Fish. Thursday. Davenport WTA Tour comeback in the works. Read more stories about French Open tags: Amanda Anisimova, Anastasia Potapova, Dominic Thiem, Marketa Vondrousova, Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Serena Williams. Serve clock. Simona Halep, Stan Wawrinka, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Don't miss any tennis action. Stay connected with TennisX. Follow at TennisX. Get the free TX daily newsletter. Lyle Nubbin says, nice post, Sean. I would add that Djokovic emerged from RG as a question mark. He was in fine form until the semis, and then suddenly he looked out of sorts against Thiem. I wonder if he is on another motivation down streak or if can pull it together for the rest of the season. This year, after hour, his form has not been great. June 11, 2019 at 10:11 a.m. Giles says, https://twitter.com/arnie_abd/status/11384288663350067 S equals 21 the fairest way. June 11, 2019 at 10:14 a.m. Skeezer says, it doesn't matter what Rafa does from here on out. Does anyone think his all-time record of 12 FOs will be reached in like 100 years? He will, and is an historical legend. A big congrats. Blank shot clock. Get rid of it already. No one enforces it. What a joke it turned out to be. Blank Warriors. June 11, 2019 at 10:16 a.m. RZ says, totally agree that Barty is very rootable. Fun all-court style of play with variety to watch, plus the interesting backstory of taking time off and playing professional cricket for a few years before heading back to tennis. I'm hoping we'll see more big titles for her. June 11, 2019 at 10:27 a.m. RZ says, of the current men's players, Thiem is the youngest one to have been in a slam final. The next youngest, I think, is Nishikori, who is 29. Cilic is 30, the Big Four plus Stan are all over 32. June 11, 2019 at 10:29 a.m. RZ says, Carrot I forgot Delpo, who is 30. June 11, 2019 at 10:30 a.m. Giles says, was just reading an article and these stats popped up. Fed needed to play 69 slams to get to 20 and Rafa 56 to get 18. June 11, 2019 at 10:50 am. Daniel says, was just reading an article and these stats popped up. Fed needed to play 69 slams to get to 20 and Rafa 56 to get 18. Yeah, but you consider that Federer played every slam in that span, missing only 2 French Open and 1 USO between his 69 slams played to reach 20, so we can add 3 more for 72, while Nadal missed 8 slams from his first played to last one, so his numbers turns to 64. Federer 20 out of 72 spam is a 27.78% rate winning. Nadal 18 out of 64 spam is a 28.13% rate winning, pretty even. June 11, 2019 at 11:55 am. Lyle Nubbin says, at RZ, well, that settles the GAOT debate then. Roger is at 3.45 slams to get a victory and Rafa at 3.11. Smiley face. June 11, 2019 at 12:01 pm. Annie says, hey Sean. There you go again, sounding like you really know what you are talking about when it comes to tennis. Did you actually watch the matches? The last few days were extremely windy, blowing clay all over everyone. They said the shot clock had been turned off because they had to take into consideration the wind. Yet thanks Dominic and Rafael for giving us a great match to watch. Congrats to both of you, but you especially Rafa with your 12th FORG Trophy Championship. A truly amazing athlete and genuine human being. You are a world-class citizen. Much continued success to both of you. June 11, 2019 at 12:26 pm. Dry Eagle says, disagree about the women's SF. It's unfortunate but there was no other option. June 11, 2019 at 12:40 pm. SG1 says, wondering what to expect from Novak at Wimbledon after the disappointment in Paris. Does he come back refocused and ready to defend his title, or does he drift for a while as sometimes happens when losers somewhat unexpectedly? Roger can win Wimbledon if the stars align for him. As for Rafa, the grass just doesn't suit his game anymore. Getting down to those low balls with his bad knees is a bad combination. Not sure the pounding Rafa takes on hard courts is sustainable either. Then again, every time I think he can't do something, he defies the odds and does it. June 11, 2019 at 12:55 pm. Van Persie says, hey Giles, lookalike is not just won a match against Rafa now. Crazy ATP Lava Cup matches are counting now retroactively. lol https://www.atp-tour.com/n/players/fed-2-head/Rafael-nadal-vs-john-isner/n409/I-186 June 11, 2019 at 1:29 pm. Van Persie says, there are funny comments on Twitter about that. Lava Cup is no longer an EXO tournament and also the matches from the past are considered official. June 11, 2019 at 1:37 pm. RZ says, at Lyle Nubbins, I think you meant that post for Giles. But lol, another crazy stat, Rafa's 12 FO wins alone put him in 5th place, tied with Roy Emerson for most men's GS titles. June 11, 2019 at 1:41 pm. Giles says, VP. Lol. Well done Isner. June 11, 2019 at 1:53 pm. Daniel says, didn't Djoko also lost a match last Lava Cup, I think was to Anderson. June 11, 2019 at 2:43 pm. Van Persie says, 2018 was not updated, and I assume that with Rafa Big John will be corrected. When they played, it was not considered an official match. Or why I hope they will not consider the ones for the last 2 years. June 11, 2019 at 2:58 pm. Top story, 12 things I think I thought about Rafael Nadal and the French Open. Let's block ads. Why?